Balrog is a cool character that I wish was in Street Fighter 6, but since he's not, let's talk about him in Street Fighter 5. Balrog is a very strong character that has two very strong V-triggers. So let's go in extensive detail about each of them, which is stronger, and when to take each of them in matchups. Quick overview before we get into specifics. V-Trigger 1 gives Balrog access to his Rekkas, where after he lands a dash punch or a dash low or a screw smash, he can extend it for more hits. He gets a lot of these, and all but the final one are safe on block. V-Trigger 2 gives him access to B3, a 7-frame command grab. Common activates are off of Sweep, EX Low, and Hit Confirming off of Light Kick Target Combo and Crouch Medium Kick. Alright, now let's get into the specifics and what makes each trigger strong. BT1 needs 3 bars to activate, making it more expensive, but it's still very strong. Not only does it give you the opportunity to make every single special move you do safe, unless they duck your screw smash, it also gives you more damage and corner on stray dash punches and dash lows. You not only get corner carry on hit, using your Rekkas to push them even further, but you even get it on block. Remember that all but your last Rekka is safe on block, meaning you get all this corner carry for very little risk. It also makes your low game scary even without EX bar, and even scarier with EX bar. VT1 gives you great damage with even better corner carry. So what about VT2? VT2 is 2 bars, easier to activate, and gives him a very strong command grab, and one that goes shockingly far. Look how far it goes. The damage is serviceable, but what really makes the command grab scary is the stun. This does so much stun. Not only do you have the 7-frame command grab to use on offense, you can also cancel into it out of certain normals, giving Balrog more damage overall. You don't need to actually land the command grab. You can get B3 after Balrog's Crouch Medium Kick Target Combo Hit Confirm, which gives him a really threatening low, even when he doesn't have back charge. It is a 13-frame hit confirm, which is less than people are comfortable with, but because it's a 1-button confirm, it ends up being fine. VT2 doesn't just give him a command grab, it gives him the tools to deal with command grab counterplay. Now let's talk about how each of these triggers synergize with his kit. One of Balrog's greatest strengths is his corner game. Once you can't walk out of his light dash punch range, you're constantly at threat of an unreactable dash punch. The guaranteed corner carry of VT1 lets you get to that corner position much easier. Yes, Balrog can go coast to coast with 2 bars in 1 hit, but this lets him go from mid-screen to the corner without any risk. And because he's a charge character, Balrog's lows aren't very strong on their own. Yes, you can do the target combo for Crouch Medium Kick, but the range isn't the greatest and you don't get too much off of it. But if you have charge, you can attempt his dash lows, long range and hits low. But without V-Trigger, you need EX bar and charge to be threatening low. Non-EX dash low can be spaced to be safe, but is slow and leaves room for counterplay. And while EX low is honestly the best way for Balrog to spend meter in neutral, actual jump scare while being safe, VT1 gives him much more freedom to threaten normal dash lows. You don't have to worry about it being punished. But it also gives EX low an extension, so it's good there too. And VT1 has an additional activation route that VT2 doesn't have. You can activate off of a dash punch, leaving you 0 on block. Not the best way of doing it, but an option nonetheless. Balrog is a 3-frame character, meaning it can be in his favor. And VT1 lets Balrog make his armored EX Screw Smash safe, but that move is very situational. Nice way of saying bad, because the armor doesn't come out on frame 1. Back to VT2. Like I said before, Balrog's lows are conditional. The cancel out of the target combo makes him even scarier in the neutral. Now you can't just walk back if he doesn't have bar. You're acting like you won't get command grab.
Acting like you won't get command grab.
One of Balrog's strengths is his damage. He hits very hard and is well known for his ability to make comebacks. And the command grab adds an extra layer to his offense. With VT2 activated, Balrog becomes the 2nd best grappler in the game, only surpassed by VT2 activated Cody. VT2 shores up a weakness that he had, that wasn't really a weakness, while giving him strengths in different departments. VT1 makes his strengths even stronger, and also helps with the lows a bit. Now, let's get into how each of them interact with their V-skills. VT1 synergizes better with both V-skills. Empowering your dash punch with V-skill 2 gives you huge damage potential if you land your Rekkas. And the lack of charge requirement after a hit means that you threaten the damage even without charge or EX bar or standing. And with V-skill 1, you can spin after each of the Rekkas, which means you can threaten both resets and high-low mix with the overhead that V-skill 1 provides. But I'm going to be honest here, after the game switched to PC, the reset and overhead may still work, but it's too reactable to be a consistent tool. VT2 doesn't really work very well with either of Balrog's V-skills. V-skill 1 allows Balrog to spin out a VX dash punch to go into target combo to get the P3 cancel. V-skill 2 lets Balrog do EX enhanced dash punch to get in range of command grab while being +4, making the grab real. Not a lot of synergy there, but it makes sense because it was introduced last. But with everything examined, both of these V-triggers are very close in strength, both very strong. Yes, the command grab is very scary, but the guarantee of VT1 makes it very consistent. So what ends up being the deciding factor of which V-trigger to take in which matchup? Balrog doesn't have a reversal, which makes his V-gauge his primary defensive tool. So in matchups where Balrog would get mauled and needed to spend some V-gauge on V-reversal or even V-shift, you want to be taking V-trigger too. You want to be able to spend V-gauge on defense while still being able to have a V-trigger to use as a comeback factor. VT2 also does wonders against characters that rely on armored options. VT2 almost hard counters Sagat VT2, you can just scoop him out of it. So when do you take VT1? I have said that the strength in the trigger lies within the corner carry, not the damage. So I would put it like this. You want VT2 for the really bad and really good matchups, and VT1 for everything in between. As a win harder tool, I think that the extra offensive options is more valuable than the extra damage that VT1 gives. But again, case-to-case basis, I think you take VT1 against G and he's one of your worst matchups. But I think the two are both strong enough to be viable, and close enough in viability for it to come down to personal preference. So pick whichever one you like. But I will say that despite everything I've said here, even with the consistency of VT1, I always take VT2. What does B3 even mean? This video is a little different, was busy no-lifing Silksong, so I didn't have time for a normal video. Next week we'll be back on track. Sorry card game viewers, you're getting pushed back a week. Go play Silksong!
Sans mi, ma, ni,